So today we are going to be looking at the Chaminade Concertino and the Foray Fantasy, but in a sort of different way so that we use our warm-ups as a way to practice some of the technical aspects of the pieces before actually playing them, because it just helps so much and you get things done a lot quicker when you're practicing your repertoire after doing lots of the sort of warm-up exercises related to that piece. So in the Chaminade, there's a few things that I'd like to work on. So that would be some of the legato passages and not popping higher notes out just because they're higher. So working on diminuendos a little bit between notes. Also the lovely scales that are in there. And what else do we have? We have lots of tricky finger coordination, especially C to D, that kind of stuff. And in the Foray Fantasy, more scales, also soft attack for the opening, so how to approach a note without making it too clear, just approaching the note with what we call a soft attack. And what else in the Foray? Articulation, there's lots of different articulations, so we can practice scales with different articulations. And a bit on rhythm, I think. Okay, so those are some of the things that I'd like to do. I don't know if I'll get it all done today, but we'll try our best. And also, just to start with, a warm-up using an exaggerated vibrato. So I'm just going to demonstrate some of that now, and we'll do it together. So if we think of vibrato, for the purposes here, as a alternation in pitch between going sharp and flat, and that's happening because we're blowing more and less. So we've talked about correcting pitch before, but here we don't want to correct it at all. So it's, in a way, it's easier because you just blow and let the note die away, and you will hear a rise and fall in pitch. And to start with, think about where that's coming from in the body. Can everybody just let out a few ha, ha? Just say ha. And then say wah, wah. And now connect the wah. Wah, wah, wow, wow. So you can feel the rise and fall in the volume, and you can hear some connection as well. So that's your basic vibrato there, and I've drawn it out in case, and I don't know if you can see that, but this is the first top bit there. You can see if you do the ha, and that's on each of those peaks of the vibrato. Okay, so if we did that on the flute, without trying to change anything, just pick any note that you like, and you're just going to blow more and let it die away. So you feel a little push here where you're blowing a little bit more, but the connection remains. We don't want to get the gaps in between. See if you can connect those up. So wow, wow, before you get to the next wah, there's still some ooh there. So try and think of that as you're actually playing. So think of some lyrics or words to help you. So try and get as sharp and as flat as possible. So allow the pitch to move. And for that to happen, this has to be in the stomach area, very free. There's no, you can't hold it like doing crunches or something. If you do that, then the stomach can't move, and the air can't fluctuate as freely. So keep free in the stomach and just let that move. And we've done the connection there. So yeah, this is also, it's a bit nicer in my book, but I don't know if you can see down around the bottom bit there. There's like an electrocardiogram sort of image there. So you've got that. That's the kind of thing I think about with this exercise, is that it's always, there's a pulse each time, but still there's life in between as well. So you're not stopping your heart each time, it just keeps going. So what I'd like to do now is make those pulses a little bit quicker. So we'd had whoa, whoa. So if we think of that as a 1, can we go to a 2 now? So whoa, 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 whoa. So let's try that just on a G or whatever note you had. Okay, so just whoa, whoa. And now 3s. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's try that. Okay, and the wider that you can go, just again, is the best, because it's really helping to open up the sound, and that's what the purpose of this exercise really is, just to get things free and open. So let's go, keep going with the nice wide pulses, but this time with 4. So whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, good. So you start to feel this working a little bit more. Number 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ready, go. And actually we'll just go up to 6 for now, but you can go as high as you want, just making the numbers each time one step higher. So we'll go up to 6, and then we're going to try and connect them all up and then back again. So let's just do 6s for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, good. So we are going to do 2 repetitions of each. So we'll have whoa, 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 something like that. But just go at your own pace. But we're going to go up to 6, twice on each one, and back again. So take a breath wherever you need to. So we're basically just getting faster and then slower again. Let's try that. So starting with the 1, gradually going up to a 6 and coming back. Good. Did everybody get that? Do you want to do it again? Let's do it one more time. And so yeah, nice deep breath at the beginning, and see if you can get up to 6, and then take a breath maybe at the top and come all the way back. So just twice on each number. Let's do it on a different note as well, just to change things up. Ready? 1 note higher. Good. So it might sound terrible, but it doesn't really matter because it's all about just warming up. And then once you've done that, you'll notice that actually playing loud to soft is so much easier because you've got the freedom of the air. And now all you have to do is correct the pitch with your jaw. And that brings us on to the Chaminade Concertino. And I want to practice going from a slightly louder note to a slightly quieter note. So you could think mezzo forte to mezzo piano, or a little bit more extreme if you want. So the bit that I'm talking about is just at the beginning. And a lot of times, I don't know about your experience, but I hear a lot of or so I hear a lot of the loud note coming out because people blow stronger to get up there. But I want to sort of get away from that by blowing a little less, just doing it with the airspeed and direction. And that's because when you blow louder and that top note pops out, it's disrupted that melodic legato line. So we have to make slight changes in the dynamic so that that line can remain nice and smooth along the way. Okay, so what I'd like to do first is go through the harmonic series of F sharp to A. So we just do F sharp, 2 beats to A, 2 beats, but getting softer. Then we do it the octave higher, keep the fingering the same, F sharp to A, and then the next harmonic with the same fingering. So that will sound like a C sharp to an E. So let's try that. Sorry, I just got a bit of a bubble. So we're going to go 2 beats on each with a diminuendo, F sharp and A. Good. Good. And if you want to put some vibrato somewhere, try to put it on the stronger note and less on the weaker note. So yai, yai, something like that. I know that the dynamics don't really come across in the live stream, so I hope you're still following what I'm actually getting at. But yeah. So that's F sharp and A. Can we do the same thing with G and B? So we're going to do same thing, same fingering, G and B natural, octave higher, and then the harmonic of that above that, same fingering. Okay, one more time. So if you just try to think of oh, oh, and keeping that airspeed nice and fast all the way through. Otherwise, you can get a bit of a drop off. It will drop the harmonic series. So just try to keep blowing forward and keeping the airspeed fast. So now let's do ya, 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 something like that. Okay. And one more time. Good. So you can practice that one. And you'll find that those harmonics are actually useful because when it goes up the octave, the melody, there's those intervals up there as well. So that will be really good way to sort of warm up the jaw and everything for tackling that smooth thing. So let's just play the first 1, 2, 3, 4 bars of that melody together. And now just thinking of that rise and not allowing the top note to jump out. Okay? So I'll go like dum, 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 3, 4. Good. And let's just sing and play that melody as well. 1, 2. Good, so that's another good way to just warm up for that nice warm sound that we need at the beginning. Okay, so you can practice that one. The next bit I'd like to look at, which I think is tricky, is where the rhythm starts to change in the scales. Where is that? Can you see around here? That bit. And again, what I tend to hear at that point is so a big smack on the low C sharp because of the finger change. And also because it's a low note, just want to make sure it comes out basically. But if we can try to avoid that so that we're aiming a little bit more to the E there, so it's 2, 3, 4, 1, and then you're aiming for E instead of 2, 3, 4, 1. So what I like to practice there is possibly just a scale, but doing the 3-note upbeat. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so we start a note higher each time. So if we did D major, since that's in D major, starting on a D, so we go D, E, F, G, E, F, G, A, like that, and aim for the top note each time. So I'll just show you a couple of them and then we can do it together. Okay, so aiming for the top. So let's do that together, starting on D, and we'll just do 2 octaves and stop on the top one. Okay, so you develop the sound through the 3-note pickup. And then, so when you come back to playing that one, and then it keeps going forward with the phrasing. Okay, so that's another thing you could sort of practice there. The next bit, that's, oh no, not yet. Yes, it's the dum. That's 24, bar 24. That bit. So that's basically just one note above and coming back. So we can practice scales like that as well. Can we try that? Just let's do it in D major again. So you just go da dee da da dee da dee da da, and go all the way up again to top D. So it'll just sound like triplets. And when you're coming back down, we'll do it at that speed first, and then maybe we'll do another one a bit faster. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So do you want to try it a little bit faster? Doodly 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 doodly. 1, 2, 3. Good. So you can just do that in your own time and even faster as well, but build it up gradually. Key things to remember as you're getting faster. Did your fingers get tighter? Did they start closing on the keys as you got faster a little bit more? Was there more tension in your hands, etc.? So try to just be aware of that as you are playing faster. Don't get tight. And if you notice it, just stop, take a breath, maybe go a little bit slower again, and then make sure that your fingers are staying close to the keys and keeping like that, okay? Another way that you can practice that without making a sound, so if you're in your room, you don't want to make much sound, it might be late, you can just blow here on the barrel instead of here. So you still get the same practice with blowing and with fingers, and it feels quite nice when your flute's just here, not all the way over here. So just blow here. Something like that, okay? So that's something else that I do, and it really helps you hear your air coming out constantly, which is important with fast passages. It's often that we forget our airstream. And also you can hear now your fingers. So if you start hearing lots of key slaps, then you know that your fingers are probably lifting too much, or you're hitting them down too hard from being like tight and in the fingers. So just be gentle to your flute. It's done nothing wrong. So next one is the similar, it's just in a different key, over the page at the vivo, our tempo vivo, where you've got lots of C to D. See that? This section here. And a lot of students, when they come, they just play it with the trill key, which is fine, but does it sound good? And usually not on flutes. Some flutes have very good trill key hole placements and all that, and they vent well, and they sound quite in tune, but not all of them do. And so when you play C to D like this, and you just get that duff sort of asthmatic bird sound. It doesn't make that section sound very nice, so you're just constantly aware of, you just hear a load of birds going through. So what I would suggest is actually just fingering it out. You can leave a couple of fingers down as you go between C and D, and that might help. So it's just like those two there. But I think you can do it without doing that as well. So ways to practice things like that is to do like fast and slow. So you alternate going da-da-da-da-dee-da, da-da-dee-dee-dee, something like that. Something like that, and then you do the other way around. So if you've got the music there, shall we do that? So let's do start fast on the C to D to C, and then slow on the next triplet, then fast, slow, and just alternate. So let's do that section. Okay, and then the other way around, so it's slow to fast. Good. And remember to keep the air flowing all the way through. And if you want to do it that sort of mezzo forte level and gradually make the dynamic less, but as you're playing softer, don't neglect the airspeed. So don't let the sound get pale or weak in any way. Just keep the color of the sound by keeping the airspeed and the focus all the way through that. And I'm just aware that I haven't spent any time on the foray, but I think that's probably enough for today, and I'll do the foray tomorrow, if that's okay. So use scales to practice pieces because they're full of scales, but practice them in a way that helps you with the piece. So it's not two separate things, but oh yeah, I've got triplets in this piece, or I've got lots of articulation in this piece. Let's put that into the scales. And something else that you could do because of C to D, just give you this sort of like little example that I do with some of my students, just to give them a week of torture, is to pick a scale, but then do the tricky combination on every single note. So you do, let's say it's an F major. Something like that. So you do C to D as a triplet, but with every note before it. Something like that. And that's a good sort of thing. So you get really good at that combination. And if you find something else that's harder up in the top octave, you do it that way as well. So yeah, it's just a way of upping the ante with your practice, and not sort of staying the same, but just keep pushing yourself a little bit more step by step, but always with good awareness of the breath, of posture, of all those things. Otherwise we get very tight and then we get issues with our hands and stuff. Okay, so I will do foray tomorrow, and I think some high register stuff. So I hope to see you then, and thanks for watching.